Everyone, this is the second video of our JsonAssert series, and today we are going to discuss about some customization while comparing your JSONs. So, ever had your test fail just because a timestamp is bound to change, or there is some other field or attribute which can change dynamically, or there are some known conditions due to which you don't want your test to fail. So in this video, I'll show you how to use JSON asserts customization feature to ignore such kind of anomalies. You can ignore the fields, we can apply the tolerances, we can match the patterns instead of the values, and many more. So we'll see all of these examples in this particular video. Okay, so to start with, we already had a discussion in the first video of this series regarding JSON modes. We had four modes: lenient, strict. Let me open it here. So strict, lenient, non-extensible, and strict order. If you want to go into the detail of these, I have already created the video for that, the first video in this series. Now we are going to have the second video where apart from these default feature, we will be able to customize the assertions that we have. Now, going to the examples part and the basic of customization. This customization can be achieved using custom comparator class, which is provided by this JSON assert library. Here in this class, you can see we have the constructor here. It will take the JSON compare mode that I was just mentioning you about, what kind of modes that you want to have while comparing the JSONs. Then it will take an instance of customization, right? This customization, if you see here, you need to define the path within your JSON file, the path, the attribute to which you want to customize. Okay, if you want to customize maybe a nested key value within your JSON, you can provide that here. And here you define the actual customization. Okay, so if you want to see how this functional programming works, we will be using functional programming, Java functional programming here. If you want to see how it works in detail, I have created an entire series on that. You can refer to that in the playlist section. But still, the examples that I will use in this particular video are going to be quite basic and it will be really easy to understand. Now going back, we just discussed about custom comparator, and then here we have example. I have created a object of custom comparator. It takes the mode as we were discussing, and then the customization instance. And this customization instance, it will have the path, and then it will have the customization that we want. Here, the example that I have taken, it is ignoring a field completely. For example, in this JSON that I have taken, we have timestamp. Okay, and we know like whenever we test the things, in case there is a timestamp which is being generated at real time, it can change, it will change. There is nothing that you can put in your expected JSONs, so you need to ignore that particular field. To ignore it, you just say that in case there is a timestamp value, just ignore that, return true every time for that particular match. Okay, and how you are going to use it, once your comparator, custom comparator is ready, just use it here. That's it, right? So let me show you now. Let me show you without the comparator first. We'll go the lenient way, and here you will see there is a difference in the timestamp. Here we have a different timestamp, and in the actual timestamp file we have a different timestamp. Okay, and due to this gap, it will tell us, yeah, your timestamp mismatched. Okay, so what we can do now, Instead of having this, we'll have this custom comparator. And here, once we will run our test, it will pass because now the timestamp related difference is not there and other things are passing because of the lenient mode that we have taken. Lenient mode says your comparison is extensible and it ignores the order. Okay, that we have already discussed earlier. So for this, you can see that the timestamp field has been ignored while comparing. Other examples can be, let me show you the other example that I have taken here where we can use this. In case there are some numeric fields and you want to have a little bit of tolerance in that, tolerance in sense of like say weight. In my expected, there can be other example. This is very basic example that I have taken to understand, to make you guys understand it better. So here we have a weight, I have taken it as 66, and then in the actual we have a weight of 67. So the difference is very minimal. We want to have a tolerance on that, like if the difference is minimal, accept you can accept it as a pass. So for that, again the same thing, JSON compare node lenient, the field JSON path of that particular field O1 O2. Like here O1 is the expected result, like the object, expected object placed here, and the actual is the expected object placed at the weight path of this particular JSON that we have provided. Like here, once the expected will come into the picture, it will see this path, it will put the value here. Similarly, for actual, it will see the path, it will put the value here. Now at this time, while compiling, it doesn't know whether it is string, it is numeric, or what is the data type of that. It consider it as an object. That's why we are parsing it to a double and then using math.absolute to see the difference shall be less than 2. Okay, let me first take, say the difference is less than 0.5. Let's take this example first. Right now, this tolerance will not meet and our test will fail because the difference is of 1 and 1 is not less than 0.5. So that's why the test is bound to fail. Here it says that this particular field had the mismatch. All other things were matching within your JSON as per the lenient compare mode, but this one didn't match. So what we do? We If we increase the tolerance, now the test will pass. Okay. The other example is partial match of the string. So in case you have a huge case where you need to do a partial match, for example, here in the expected, I have mentioned location as India, but maybe in your actual, the location is mentioned something like this. Now, it can be a defect for this case that the address is not okay, but for the example, in case you know, like this is going to happen, this is a expected scenario for you, where for a field you can have some different values at the runtime. It is not going to be ever same, but it will always have this particular thing in it. So there you can apply this logic. Just again the same thing here, I have taken the nested path, like profile dot location, so you can pass the JSON path, entire JSON path up to that field, and then you say it contains something. Okay, and then your test will pass here. Let me first show you by equals and it will fail then, and then we say it when we use contains itself pass. Now I will execute it using equals, and as we were discussing, this test will fail because we know that we have different values in this particular path for our actual and expected JSON. the test has failed. Now, one question, like, what do you think? Like, what is this O1 or O2? Is the order defining whether the O1 is expected and O2 is actual? No. O1 will always be actual and O2 will always be the expected result here. Let me show you now using this O1 dot string dot contains. So right now we know that this actual, though we used it on the second place, here you can see actual have value India, which is a part of our expected result as well. Okay, so in this case, for this location, the location defined in actual file, it contains the location defined in expected file, but the vice versa is not true, because in expected file we have single word, in actual we have the city name, then comma, and then the country name. Okay, so expected only contain country, while the actual contains city and country both. And here we are saying that actual contains expected, which is going to be the true. Let me run it again. And now our test shall pass first of all. And then we will try to reverse the situation as well, so that we can see what O1 and O2 actually mean. Here the test has passed now, sorry. Now let me convert to O2 and O1. Now the test shall fail, because actual contains more word than the expected, right? Actual is containing this, but expected doesn't have it. So that's why I'm saying this O1 is always the actual result that you have. This one. Now, the last use case, say in case you don't have any, like in this case, in the first case, we ignored one field completely, but we know that this timestamp will have a particular pattern. So there we can use regex. Okay, just use the same way instead of like this O2, as I was telling you, this O1. We shall have it on O1, because O1 is the actual result. We are going to check on O1, not on O2. So this O1 shall match a particular pattern. The pattern is defined already. Let me show you this file, actual. Okay. Now the test has passed, but let me change the pattern for this. Now the test will fail. Okay. The test has failed. We passed the expected file here, so that it is just a kind of dummy value. We are not actually using the expected, we are checking with the regex. So in your JSON that you have put for the expected file, you can mention anything for this particular case, so that it is more visible to you while analyzing the test results. So this is it for this video, guys, and this customization feature, this is really helpful. I have been using it for lot of JSON comparison on my side. Like, instead of writing maybe Java code to achieve the same functionality, we can just use this one or two line of code, and it can make our life really easy. It is shortening the code for sure, and it is more readable, I'll say. So yeah, that's all for this video, guys. And in case you're liking the content that I'm making, please do like, share, and do subscribe. See you in the next video. Thank you.